Surprise, shawty. I'm not from Africa. What's up, Nana Squad? Welcome back to my channel. And for those who are new, happy to have you here. So in my get to know you video, I talked about how I started YouTube to talk about adoption from an adoptee's point of view, and how I would love to talk more about struggles, the ups and downs, the beautiful sides of it, because adoption is a very beautiful thing, but like it's also hard. It's very hard. So I just wanted to talk about it. I know I have friends out here that are curious and they just don't want to be rude, and then I also have friends that are like, when I get older I want to adopt. I know my parents' friends are all want to adopt, and they just like, I don't know, like I just think it could be some cool knowledge that I can tell you guys and give out to you guys. So I would love to do that. So I have been thinking for the longest on where to start. And when we really think about it, there is nowhere to start. Like, no, I don't really know where to start. So I decided to just pull out my camera and just film. So I'm going to give you guys my adoption story, because if I don't give you guys the story, everything else that I'm trying to tell you guys, the questions you guys have, will not make sense. It'll be like, wait, what? So here's my adoption story. I do want to, before I start the story, I just want to let you guys know that if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you guys don't know the terminology, it's okay. Don't worry about being offensive. Like, that's what I'm here for, to teach you guys the terminology. So yeah, don't worry about that, and let's start the adoption story. So every adoption is different. It's not the same. So just because you guys are seeing this from me does not mean that's how every case is going to be. It doesn't mean that if you adopt, that's how it's going to be. It's just my story and how me and my family were formed. So you guys can take this as a learning experience to just know more about me, but it's not like this is every case at all. The way that I see it is that there's a timeline. You have my birth mom, me, and my mom and dad. So quick terminology lesson. You have my birth mom, and then you have the mom and dad. And some people will say the adoptive mom and dad. It's polite and considerate to say mom and dad. While some people do say adoptive mom and dad, majority of like people, and I definitely call my parents mom and dad. So the terminology typically is birth parents and parents, because legally when you have been adopted, those are legally your parents, and on every legal document that's your parent. So yeah, so when you guys hear me talk about mom and dad in any of my videos, I'm talking about the ones you guys have seen on YouTube, the ones on Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, the ones that have raised me and that are legally my parents. So yeah, so you have my birth mom, me, and my mom and dad. This portion is the portion where I was conceived. I was in her womb when she gave birth to me, and that's our little story. And then you have me and my mom and my dad, and that is how they adopted me, when they signed the papers, and then teaching me and growing up with me and being my parents. And this is the story that we're going to be talking about, okay? So in my get to know me video as well, I also said that I am from, like, I live in North Carolina. Not only do I live in North Carolina, but I'm actually from North Carolina. This shocks people a lot, especially when I was younger. I got the stereotypical, like, you know, you're from Africa, whatever, little nonsense. I wish, like, it'd be so cool to be like from someplace else, but no, I'm from North Carolina. I was born in North Carolina, raised in North Carolina. I'm literally a little Southern gal, Southern belle, whatever you want to call it, but I'm Southern and I live in North Carolina. So yeah, so what pretty much happened was I was a planned adoption. That meant that everyone on both parties knew that I was coming, and they knew that I was going to be adopted. Like, more or less likely that was what was going to happen. And so what happens with the adoption is that you cannot just walk in and say, I want a baby, give me a baby. No, that's so not what happens. You have to give a profile. And this is a profile of, like, you need your background history, your family's history, your blood work, you need everything. You need your lifestyle, your beliefs, you need pictures. The agency we went through, it was their business. Their business was put out in here. They had a little pamphlet of their pictures, their beliefs. So I was like, everything was out. My parents' business was out. Now, my birth mom's business was not out. There's no reason why she needed to give her business out as to why she was going to place her child up for adoption. Another terminology lesson. We do not say unwanted. We do not say given away. We do not say gave up. We say placed for adoption. That is the more polite term and correct term to say. Is like, why were you placed for adoption? I'm going to place my baby for adoption. I don't want to place my baby for adoption. Like, that's usually how it's used when you think of terminology for adopting, like placing a baby for adoption. So yeah, so that was pretty much what happened. So my birth mom, I was chosen by this family from my birth mom. She had other families, she looked at other families and chose this family. So before I get into this, if you guys do not know me, or have never seen any other videos of me, don't follow me on social media, I am a biracial adoption, and that is very important to know because nothing's gonna make sense in any of my other videos when I talk about struggles, feelings, like anything. This was a biracial adoption. Yeah, but that's definitely important. You guys gotta remember that for those that don't know that situation. But yeah, so I'm Black and I have white parents. My parents didn't know I was coming, so they went on a vacation at a lake house, a family lake house that we had on August 9th, 2002, which is when I was born. They got a call saying she's born. They came here. Now they came to North Carolina and they came back to their house just to be prepared for when I came. Now the thing is, even though I'm planned from August 9th to August 19th, my birth mom got to decide if she wanted to fully go through with the adoption, because in this case with this adoption, it is fully permanent. That means when she signed the papers, she was giving over her parental rights to someone else and had no legal rights of me whatsoever, and would never ever be able to get that back. It's a permanent done deal. That's it. So for 10 days I did stay with a foster parent. You guys could say that stayed in an orphanage or stayed with someone else. Like me and my mom and my dad, we do not count that as anything. It was 10 days. So it's not like I was crawling, saying names. I didn't get the fresh, ooh, they came out of me like baby kind of vibes. It was 10 days. It was not like I was doing anything in 10 days. After I was born, my parents actually were not in the room. They're doing, like, the agency did not allow that, but they did not want to have, even if they could have, they did not want to be in the room. There are some adoption like agencies that will allow that, but my parents did not want to do that. My mom was very squeamish and was not trying to be in a room. Also, like I just said, the birth mom has a period where she can change her mind. So for 10 days, it was like, yay, I'm so happy she's here. But also, like, she might not be ours yet, and we will not know until August 19th. So it could have been possible that it could have been in a room and then watched the birth, and then all of a sudden they didn't even get me. But yeah, so I stayed with a foster parent. So I stayed with a foster parent for 10 days, and that was the time, a period where the birth mom could decide, do I want to go through with this or not? Obviously, she went through with it, so I'm here. And when she had legally signed over the papers, my parents came down, they had to do a bunch of paperwork, and then they got to take me back in the car seat. Since it was planned, everything, like, they pretty much knew I was gonna be their baby, and if not, they were gonna have another baby, like, they were gonna have another opportunity for a baby at some point. Like, a nursery was already there, everything was already ready, like, they literally had the car seat, and they just took me home, and I came back to the nursery. I am in a semi-open adoption. So there's so many adoptions. You have semi-open, open, closed, semi-closed. Like, it's so many adoptions with so many regulations. It just depends on the agency. My agency went with a semi-open adoption, meaning that you get some contact, but you don't get any. So you don't get all. So that meant that, like, majority of contact went through the agency and, like, one person. So my mom could contact the agency, then, like, that information would go to my birth mom, and my birth mom would contact the agency, and that would go to my mom. My birth mom did actually end up meeting my mom and make sure that she was making the right decision with this family. Make sure that she was making the right decision. Just wanted to make sure that she was seeing what on the profile was matching what she was seeing in the person. So she did meet my mom one time while she was pregnant with me, just to, you know, I guess go about the family, to see how that went. But pretty much all information went through agency. Also a semi-open one also meant that last names and addresses were not exchanged. So, like, my mom did not have my birth mom's full name and all of that. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoy, and I'm really excited to talk about this because I know that the internet can be a harsh place, but people are harsh anywhere. Like, you're gonna be harsh on the internet, school, my job, work, anywhere. So like, why not do what I want to do and help other people and spread knowledge out there? You know, I don't know. So yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoy my video, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Bye!